Welcome back to Slothbox. I'm Lyndon Dixon, and this is the first episode of our review show of all the main events in boxing that happened over the last weekend. And the first one is the big one in Dublin, one of the biggest fights in women's boxing that we could have asked for, and we got it again, the rematch between Chantelle Cameron and Katie Taylor. And yeah, not a lot of people could have seen how this went. The majority thought it would have been rinse and repeat for Chantelle Cameron, but no. Katie Taylor got her arms raised on a huge night for Irish boxing. I mean, Cully got a big win, Carty got a big win, Paddy Donovan got a huge win, and Taylor got the big one as well. She got her belts back in the rematch. But there was a lot of there was a huge topic of controversy, especially after Taylor got supposedly knocked down in the first round, and the ref waved it off as not a knockdown. And to most online, looking at the videos on Twitter and other social medias, assumed that it should have been a knockdown, but it wasn't. And obviously that could have played a huge part on the scorecards had it been ruled as an actual knockdown. But that begs the question, what is next for the queen of Irish boxing, Katie Taylor? Well, queen of British boxing, really. I mean, what is next for her? Does she do the Cameron rematch straight away and make the trilogy fight with, if Conlon comes through in a few weeks, him against Cordina? That would be a huge fight on the undercard for that. Or does she go for the Serrano rematch? The rematch we've been talking about for quite a while. But as I said, a huge night in British boxing. But yeah, more of this weekend's action. We head over to Las Vegas for what was a huge fight in the middleweight division. And surely you'd think the man that Canelo will be fighting next. David Benavidez beat Demetrius Andrade, giving Andrade the first loss of his career. He knocked Andrade down in the fourth round. And then at the end of the sixth, Andrade and his corner decided it wasn't enough, and Benavidez consequently had his hand raised. Now, that is the big question. Will he be fighting Canelo? But elsewhere on that card, Benavidez's brother lost by unanimous decision to Jamel Charlo. Also, Ergashev retired on his stall in his fight. And yeah, but surely the topic of discussion for the end of that one was, is Canelo going to finally fight David Benavidez? I mean, if you look at Benavidez's year, he's beat Plant by decision, and now he's just beat Andrade. More guys who were calling for that fight with Canelo Alvarez. And I think he said something along the lines of, have I not done enough? In the post-fight press conference, Mike Tyson, who was there in attendance, said, any man that gets in the ring with David Benavidez loses. So yeah, a lot of discussion around that one because no one knows what Canelo's doing next. There's talks of the Crawford fight, the Bivol rematch, or will he do something else crazy that we can't predict? But for me and a lot of boxing fans all over the world, we want to see that Benavidez fight. Finally, I mean, he's got the WBC interim middleweight title. It's time for Canelo to give him his shot. And yeah, if you have faith in yourself, show that you are the better man. But until then, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that brings me to the end of this week's episode of the review show of all the boxing over the weekend. We only talk about the biggest fights here. I've been Lyndon Dixon. This has been Slothbox, and we will see you on the next one.